At this point, our character selection system is pretty much done. So let's go ahead and add some flash and make it look pretty. We're going to do this with a character selection spotlight. It's going to function one of two ways. On a mobile platform, there will be two spotlights, one highlighting each character. On a platform that has a mouse, there will be a single spotlight that follows the mouse cursor around and shines on whichever player we select. To start, I'm going to create a new spotlight. I'm going to do this by clicking the Create dropdown in the Hierarchy window and selecting Light, Spotlight. I'm going to rename this Select Spot PC. Even though I'm using the name PC, I really mean any standalone platform or one with a mouse. I'm going to change a few of the properties on the spotlight. Namely, I'm going to increase its intensity from 1 to 2.5. I'm also going to allow the spotlight to have some shadows. It's worth noting that if you're targeting lower end hardware, you may just want to leave this off. But if your platform can support shadows, I recommend turning on soft shadows. While soft shadows are usually inefficient, in this instance they're really only lighting a couple things and they make for a nice effect. They're also not going to stay on for very long, as they'll disable themselves when we select a character. I'm going to move my spotlight a little bit above the origin. I'm going to give it a position of 0, 4, 0. And I'm going to give it a rotation about the x-axis of 90 degrees. Now, to make this spotlight follow my mouse around, I'm going to apply a helper script to it. This helper script, so named because it's located in the helpers folder underneath the scripts folder, is called Look at Mouse. This script is very simple. It just uses the mouse location on the game manager and then uses that position to point the spotlight at it. Now our spotlight for platforms with a mouse is complete. I'm going to press play and we'll see it run. We also need a way to highlight our characters on a mobile device, and also a way to turn our spotlights on and off depending on the platform and whether or not the player has been selected. To do this, I'm going to create a new empty game object which is going to contain two additional spotlights. I'm going to go to my hierarchy and select Create, Create Empty. And I'm going to place this at the origin. I'm going to name this Select Spots Mobile. The easiest way to get a spotlight configured the way I want is simply to duplicate the one I already have in my scene. I'm going to click on my Select Spot PC and I'm going to right click and select Duplicate. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to rename these to be Spot 1 and Spot 2. And I'm going to nest both of those underneath my Select Spots Mobile empty game object. These spotlights will each be located in the same position as my Select Spot PC, however, I'm going to give them a different rotation. Spot 1 is going to have a rotation of 50, 90, 90. And Spot 2 is going to have a rotation of 55, 270, 270. Now obviously I don't want all of these spotlights turned on at the same time. Also, I won't really know which spotlights to have on until the project is currently running because it could be on a mobile device or it could be on a standalone device. Therefore, I'm going to disable both the Select Spot PC game object and the Select Spots mobile game object. I'm going to do that by highlighting both of them and unchecking the checkbox in the upper left-hand corner of the inspector. You'll note that I did not disable Spot 1 and Spot 2. Now I need to create a game object that's going to decide which spotlight I need to have on based on my platform. I'm going to do that by creating a new empty game object, by going to the hierarchy window and selecting Create, Create Empty. I'm going to position this at the origin and name it Character Selection Spotlights. I'm then going to select my Select Spot PC and Select Spots mobile game objects and nest them underneath this new character selection spotlights. Finally, I'm going to add a script to the character selection spotlights which will handle turning on the appropriate lights and turning off all lights when a character has been selected. I'm going to click Add Component, Scripts, Character Spotlight. It's going to have two properties, one for my PC Spotlight and one for my mobile Spotlight parent object. I'm simply going to click and drag the Select Spot PC over to the Spotlight PC property and the Select Spots Mobile over to the Spotlight Mobile property. I'm going to go ahead and play my scene and see the finished spotlights. I'll see that the appropriate spotlight gets enabled, as I am on the PC, Mac, and Linux standalone platform. If I were on a mobile platform, we would see the two spotlights instead, pointing at our characters. Now, when I select a character, the spotlights get disabled and my gameplay starts up.